Coming up on RMU Live, not only were the Oscars a big night for winners, but also a big night for mess-ups as Best Picture was mistakenly announced. The RMU men's hockey team dominated last night while playing at Heinz Field against Niagara, and 2 more suspects have been arrested in connection with the brutal murder of a cab driver. Next.
Welcome to RMU Live. Today is Monday, February 27, 2017. I'm Eddie Shee.
And I'm Hannah Smith. Here's what's happening now. 1 person is dead and 2 others were injured in a pair of shootings on Sunday. Police say the first victim was a 24-year-old man who was talking to a man he knew outside a bar in Brighton Heights. 8 shots were heard and he was shot at least 3 times in the chest and abdomen. He was taken to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The second shooting was reported in Pittsburgh's Manchester neighborhood. Police say they responded to Liverpool Street, and a 46-year-old father walked into the police station with a gunshot wound to the foot. Meanwhile, his 24-year-old son was being treated at the hospital. Both were listed in stable condition.
RMU hockey took the big stage at Heinz Field this weekend following the Pittsburgh Penguins' performance in the NHL Stadium Series. RMU Live's Gage Golding has the story.
We're here at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where the Robert Morris Colonials men's hockey team will take on the Niagara Purple Eagles right here on the Stadium Series ice, where the Pittsburgh Penguins beat the rival Philadelphia Flyers 4-2 last night.
Every once in a while, we watch RMU. It's our first game.
The Robert Morris University Colonials hosted the Niagara Purple Eagles for the final game in the Atlantic Hockey regular season at Heinz Field on Sunday evening. The Colonials, who last played outside in Toledo, Ohio against Bowling Green, defeated the Purple Eagle 5-1.
It's like a new step for them. Like, it's something new that I've never seen, so I think it's kind of like history for them.
It definitely is like a milestone in RMU's hockey career.
Heinz Field has hosted 2 prior outdoor hockey games before RMU took the ice on Sunday. The most recent being the 2017 Coors Light Stadium Series, Saturday night when the Pittsburgh Penguins defeated the Philadelphia Flyers 4-2. Robert Morris will advance into the playoffs with a first-round bye in the number 4 seed. The Colonials will host number 5 Holy Cross in a second-round best-of-3 series March 10th through 12th at 84 Lumber Arena.
I definitely feel that our athletics will continue to grow as well. I definitely feel that we will be on the national stage as well.
After a historic night of collegiate hockey here at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Robert Morris Colonials come out on top 5-1 against the Niagara Purple Eagles. With 41 shots on goal for the Colonials compared to 34 shots on goal for the Purple Eagles, the Colonials set history in the first outdoor collegiate hockey game. Reporting for Robert Morris University Century Media from Heinz Field, Gage Golding.
Rashad Christian will have more details on both the Penguins game and RMU game a little later in the show.
The Media Arts Visiting Artist and Scholar program is welcoming broadcast journalist Brian Vines to campus this week. Vines is Brick TV's chief correspondent and a freelance journalist. He also worked for CNN and The Guardian. Everyone is invited to attend Vines' lecture tomorrow in the Wheatley Center from 2 to 3 p.m. The School of Education and Social Sciences invites everyone to attend the Celebration of Women's Luncheon on Tuesday, March 14th. The featured speaker is Brenda Henwood, who is the founder of an electrical company. The focus of her speech will be women in business and industry. The event begins at 11:30 a.m.
3 teenagers were taken into custody on Sunday night after leading police on a chase through the North Hills. Officers initially tried to stop the vehicle in Edgeworth for not having a taillight, but the 16-year-old driving just kept going. That's because the 15-year-old passenger had a warrant out for his arrest in connection to a robbery. The 15-year-old was eventually taken into Schumann's Juvenile Detention Center. A 13-year-old girl was also in the vehicle, but she is not being charged. 2 more suspects who were wanted in connection with an attack on a Pittsburgh cab driver were arrested on Sunday in Youngstown, Ohio. Christian Glenn and Danielle Russell are both suspects in the robbery and assault that left Ramadan Muhammad, an immigrant from Somalia, dead Friday night. This comes after 2 other men, King Edwards and Hosea Moore, were arrested on Friday on charges of attempted criminal homicide, robbery, and conspiracy for robbery.
One person was taken to the hospital after a possible shooting in Moon Township last night. Neighbors reported hearing gunshots in the 500 block of Broadway Avenue. Police have not released any further details.
Raw sewage running through a street in Overbrook has caused quite a stink, and it's forcing the Allegheny County Health Department to intervene. The overflow started with a public line that became clogged and then formed into a leak. Residents said that this has been a problem for nearly 3 years now. Recently, a judge ruled that the PWSA must fix the problem as the Allegheny Health Department has deemed it a matter of public health hazard, putting the PWSA on a 10-day deadline to come up with a plan to fix it.
Thousands of drivers will be facing new roadway closures today as the next phase of the Glenwood interchange begins. Crews will be doing deck replacement on several bridges. There will be a round-the-clock single-lane restriction on Route 885 in both directions. Route 887 will also be impacted by the construction. After a chilly couple of days, warmer, unsettled weather will begin to move in, bringing the chance of thunderstorms. Eddie?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Hannah. Some warmer weather last week turned into cold weather this weekend. Now we're looking at temperatures at about 49 today, so still above the average. We're going to just see some rain today, but moving into tomorrow specifically, we are going to see a chance for thunderstorms. Now, thunderstorms in February are a little unusual because thunderstorms usually happen after warm air is cold rapidly. That causes it to burst into thunder as you hear it, and that's not usual in February, but with these higher temperatures we've been seeing, that has been happening more and more. So like I said, today we're sitting at about a 40% chance of rain. Tomorrow that chance is going to go up to 80, but of course you're going to see all of that coming up later in the show during my 5-day forecast. Hannah?
And for everything you need to know about RMU news, sports, and arts and entertainment, be sure to check out rmucenturymedia.com.
And when we come back from the break, an explanation of that Oscar blunder.
And the details surrounding the beheading of a German man in the Philippines when we come back.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Last night's Oscars were one to remember after several mishaps throughout the ceremony. Chiefly among the mistakes was La La Land accidentally being named the Best Picture winner. The card mix-up led to the cast of La La Land standing on stage giving their acceptance speech until a show's producer rushed on stage and revealed that Moonlight had actually won the Best Picture award. There was also another flub during the night. A picture of Australian film producer Jan Chapman was featured during the in memoriam section with the caption, "For Janet Peterson." Peterson did die, but Chapman is still very much alive. Now, beyond the mistakes, however, the night was also a memorable one for historic reasons. Among the records set last night, Damien Chazelle, at the age of 32, was the youngest person to ever take home the Best Directing Award for his work on La La Land. Viola Davis became the first black woman to win a Tony, an Emmy, and an Oscar in her Best Supporting Actress win. And Moonlight, the night's Best Picture winner, was the first film with an all-black cast to win the coveted award. Emma Stone and Casey Affleck also won in their respective acting categories, and Zootopia took home the Best Animated Feature award. It was a good show. Did you watch it, Hannah?
I did what I could of it, but I really enjoyed the part where they brought in the tourists, actually. I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah, a nice addition.
Definitely was. Former Labor Secretary Thomas Perez was elected chairman of the Democratic National Committee. Perez narrowly beat Minnesota Representative Keith Ellison in a 235-200 vote. When Perez spoke after his victory, he immediately called for Ellison to be named deputy chairman. The aggressive effort to stop White House leaks continues after Press Secretary Sean Spicer recently checked his aides' cell phones to ensure they were not communicating with reporters. Spicer pulled his staff into his office to reiterate his frustrations with the leaks and asked to review their government-issued and personal cell phones. Spicer has declined to comment on the meeting.
214 people were indicted on felony rioting charges in connection with the Inauguration Day protests in downtown Washington, D.C. Anti-fascist protesters destroyed storefronts, bus stops, hammered out windows of a limousine, and launched rocks at a group of police. Officers tried to respond by launching smoke and flashbang devices. In total, 6 police officers were injured and 230 protesters were arrested on the day.
China's State Councilor Yang Jingchi is the first Chinese senior official to visit President Trump since his inauguration. The 2-day trip comes as tensions grow with North Korea and its neighbors. China recently banned coal imports from North Korea, and the latest move could test whether or not Trump is actually willing to do something about North Korea's nuclear weapons. South Korean intelligence is saying North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un ordered the assassination of his half-brother Kim Jong-nam. 2 assassination groups and a support group are said to be involved by South Korean lawmakers. North Korea has consistently denied involvement and accused South Korean media of publishing false reports.
A German man was beheaded by Abu Sayyaf militants in the southern Philippines after the deadline to pay his ransom had passed. A video posted by the Islamist terrorist group identified the man as Jurgen Ganter, who had been held captive since November. It was the second time the 70-year-old man was captured. Philippines Secretary Jesus Dirzea said that the armed forces of the Philippines did all they could to try and save his life. The German government is still checking the video posted for authenticity.
The Iraqi military says it has retaken the 4th of Mosul's 5 bridges after driving back Islamic State militants in the city's southwest. Mosul's 5 bridges have been badly damaged since fighting began in October. Once the 4th bridge is repaired, however, it could help bring in reinforcements and supplies to the government-held city east.
Rainstorms and landslides in Chile have contaminated the Maipo River, cutting off drinking water to at least 4 million people in Santiago. At least 3 people were killed and 19 are missing after the disaster. Almost 400 civilians are isolated in the Sayo del Maipo Monteo Moniz area. Emergency teams are working on the ground trying to connect and reestablish the water supply to the isolated people. At least 20 people were injured in an accident at the Rio de Janeiro Swambadrome on Sunday. A truck carrying a float veered out of control on the wet pavement, crushing dancers and spectators against a fence. It then changed directions and continued to crush people on the other side of the street. Organizers decided to go on with the event as planned despite the tragedy.
When we come back to RMU Live, sports anchor Rashad Christian takes a look at the Outdoor Stadium Series and RMU men's hockey game at the Heinz Field.
And I'll be taking a look at the roller coaster weekend of weather that you're going to be walking to class in. We'll be right back.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello everyone, I am Rashad Christian. I'm here to catch you up on the world of sports, both professionally and here at RMU. It was an action-packed weekend in Heinz Field as both the Pittsburgh Penguins and RMU men's hockey teams played their games outdoors. The Pens beat the Flyers by a score of 4-2 Saturday at the Stadium Series, while Robert Morris dominated the Niagara Purple Eagles 5-1 in a game that saw 5 different Colonials register a goal. The men's basketball team faced off against Sacred Heart in their last regular season game, and it was a special night more so because it would be one of the last sporting events played at the Charles L. Sewell Center. They sent the famed arena off with a bang as a 44-point second half propelled them past the Pioneers 79-72. And lastly, the women's hockey team clinched the CHA conference title this past weekend with a series sweep over Lindenwood, and it was the first title in program history. That's all the time we have for sports today, so I'm going to hand it off to Eddie Sheehy with a look at the weather.
Thanks, Rashad. Glad that the weather held out over this weekend for that stadium series. I know it was a little cold, but you can't be too upset it didn't rain. Today, not the same case. It's a little warmer, 49 degrees, but chance of rain down here at 40% now. Taking a look outside earlier today, a cloudy day, a pretty nice day here on campus. The temperature will slowly rise throughout the day, but right around 1:30, 2 o'clock in just a few minutes from now. Let's take a look at the map because we have some storms moving in throughout the area. You can see down here, this whole area all the way up into Greensburg and Johnstown. There's a front moving this way. More weather like this on the other side. Now, taking a look at tomorrow, this is when the real rain is going to happen and those chance for thunderstorms are going to occur. 63 with a low of 59, so a pretty warm temperature, only a span of about 4 degrees there, but that chance of rain is at 80%. That's going to be highest later on in the day, especially after about 6 p.m. Taking a look at our 5-day, we've got some different weather coming in. Wednesday, rain, thunderstorms, high of 66, moving into Thursday, 68 and 52. Friday, that should not say 74, that should say closer to 34 and 27. That's going to be snow. On Saturday, a high of 57. And on Sunday, a high of 46. So we're keeping in that range of higher than normal temperatures for February and especially starting out March. But overall, I don't think we can complain too much. Now, unfortunately, that is all the time we have for RMU Live this afternoon.
But But first, I think the weather is looking pretty good this week.
Oh, well, the weather is not looking bad, that's for sure. We definitely are going to see more of those higher than average temperatures, and rain is going to be something that we might see turn into snow eventually, so we're not quite done with it yet.
I really wish we were done with some of the snow because I don't want to be seeing it around.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, I lied before, but this actually is all we have for RMU Live today.
We'll see you next week.